After watching the movie Terrifier, I am happy to announce that Terrifier 2 did have a plot. Welcome to First Time Watching. Please like and subscribe as we jump straight into the breakdown. Terrifier follows the exploits of Art the Clown, a silent serial killer. In the first film, Art stalks two women into an abandoned hotel, where he saws one of the girls in half just for giggles, and the movie ends as he munches away on one of the main character's sister before shooting himself in the head. He later awakens in the morgue, kills the coroner, and resumes his killing spree. His resurrection is unexplained, but Art is back with his bag of goodies. His only surviving victim, Vicky, later attacks a newscaster for mocking her. The sequel opens with Art, now a local legend, laundering his bloody costume. He encounters the little pale girl, a mysterious child visible to only a few, and kicks off his new rampage by murdering a fellow laundromat customer. Now, for an actual plot, Sienna Shaw, a high school student from a troubled family, is still processing the fact that her father recently died from a brain tumor that affected his behavior, making his final days difficult and maybe a bit strange. Her mother, struggling with her own frustration, often lashes out and starts fights. Meanwhile, Sienna's younger brother, Jonathan, has developed an unsettling obsession with Art the Clown. Sienna discovers drawings of Art in her late father's sketchbook, alongside illustrations of a powerful angelic warrior that he drew for his daughter, which she recreates as her Halloween costume. The finishing touch is a sword her father gifted her. Sienna is plagued by nightmares and panic attacks, and she and Jonathan are haunted by visions of Art and the little pale girl. As they get closer to the killer clown, friends and neighbors begin to die. Sienna eventually discovers that her father's drawings and family history might be connected to our favorite murder clown. Sienna attends a Halloween party dressed as an angel, but suffers another panic attack after spotting the little pale girl in the crowd. In state of shock, she insists that her friends Brooke and Jeff drive her home. The little pale girl then calls Sienna, mimicking her brother Jonathan's voice to lure her to an abandoned carnival. There, Sienna finds a haunted house attraction called the Terrifier and ventures in alone, while Jeff and Brooke wait in the car. Art murders Jeff and then horrifies Brooke by smearing his scrotum on the car window before killing her as well. Inside the Terrifier, Sienna discovers Brooke's body and is forced to confront Art. The clown knocks her unconscious and turns his attention to torturing Jonathan. Sienna and Jonathan eventually manage to steal Art's weapons and repeatedly kill him in a brutal, prolonged battle where both of them get pummeled and scarred for life. Finally, Art stabs Sienna with her father's sword, causing her to fall into a portal-like entrance to hell, where she's trapped in a water torture cell and left to die a second time. However, the sword mysteriously resurrects Sienna. It gives her the power to free herself. Meanwhile, Art is torturing Jonathan and is trying to get a taste of his fingers, but Sienna appears behind them and decapitates Art, saving her brother's life. The little pale girl quietly takes Art's head and leaves without a fight. After the credits, there is a scene set in the psychiatric hospital where Victoria is a patient. The night before Art's second attack, Victoria gave an interview on a TV program where she went absolutely batshit crazy backstage and killed the host. However, upon arrival at the hospital, she returned to her calm, cute little deformed self. In this post-credits scene, Victoria is alone in her room, using her own blood to write insults on the walls, making a bold declaration of love for Art. Suddenly, her belly begins to grow as if she is pregnant. She then shoves her fingers inside her baby-making exit, pulling out her intestines to make room for her baby. When a nurse enters, she is shocked to see that Victoria has given birth to Art's head and is eating little chunks of flesh from his face. Art appears alive. Victoria's eyes are now yellow, just like the little pale girl's. It seems that an entity has possessed Victoria, and if Art's surviving victims can be used by this evil, that would explain her murderous breakdown. This also implies that the Shaw siblings may have even more terror ahead. We all know why we watch the Terrifier movies. It is, of course, to see Art the Clown brutally kill a series of unfortunate victims. So, let's break down each kill of the movie and do a little kill count. The movie picks up where the first one left off, in the coroner's office. Art has just come back to life and is following the coroner, who's desperately crawling away. Art uses the blood from the bullet hole in his own head to write his name on a mirror, then grabs a hammer from the coroner's tools and bludgeons him repeatedly. He yanks out the coroner's eyeball, pops it into his own empty socket for giggles, and then proceeds to beat him and cracks his head open to extract his brain. Kill number 2 happens at a laundromat, where Art jabs a broomstick into an innocent bystander's head. Kills 3 through 21 take place inside Sienna's dream, where Art channels his inner Scarface, mowing down a group of people who get to say hello to his little friend. Kill 22. He lights the banjo-playing girl from Sienna's dream on fire. Kill 23 is another dream kill, a young child who ate razor blade-filled breakfast cereal. Kill 24 takes place at a Halloween store, where Art hits a clerk over the head with a glass bottle, then jabs the broken bottle into his eye socket. Art then slashes him with a machete, bleeds him dry, cuts the head off, and finally holds it as a decoration piece in the store's display window. Now, for the most brutal, dragged-out kill of the movie. Kill number 25. The victim is Sienna's friend Allie. He appears in front of her door to trick or treat until she looks into his garbage bag and sees all his bloody killing toys. She locks the door and makes her way to the window to see him leave. That night, just as Allie is about to get ready for Halloween, she hears a window shatter. Allie goes downstairs to take a look and finds Art drinking a nice, refreshing glass of water in her kitchen. He picks up a pair of scissors and follows her up to her bedroom, where he throws her on the bed and cuts her face. He then cuts open her forehead and rips it back to reveal her brain. He puts her on her belly and cuts and stabs open her back to reveal her insides and breaks her arm. Then he splits her other arm in two and rips it off, and slashes away at her for quite some time. Art then leaves the room for a bit. Now, as whatever is left of Allie tries to crawl to her phone because Sienna is calling her, Art returns happily and douses her in bleach and salt, and rubs the salt into her open wound as he proceeds to rip the skin off her face. While not confirmed, kill 26 is likely Allie's mom, who arrives home to find Art playing with her daughter's remains. Allie, somehow still alive, calls out weakly for her mother's help. Kill 27 is Sienna and Jonathan's mom. Jonathan returns home to find his mom seated at the dining table with her face mutilated as though she'd swallowed a firecracker. Art, wearing an apron, invites Jonathan to dinner, stuffing mashed potatoes into the mother's face hole. He then chases Jonathan, sedating and kidnapping him. Kill 28 involves Brooke's boyfriend Jeff, who steps out of the car to pee. Art sneaks up and slices off his manhood, stabbing the genital area repeatedly before yanking off his scrotum and pressing it against the car window to horrify the next victim, number 29. The final kill is Sienna's friend Brooke. After being stabbed in the leg, she manages to run to the Terrifier, where she finds herself trapped in a filthy bathroom. Art did some arts and crafts and made a club with spikes. He throws fluoric acid in her face and hits her with his spiky club. He keeps on hitting her until he opens up her chest cavity and rips out her heart to take a juicy bite. After finishing Terrifier 2, I was initially going to say it felt like watching a filler episode, where only a couple of minutes at the end actually advance the story, forcing you to sit through the whole thing. However, I have to be honest, I watched Terrifier 3 before making this review, and that changed my perspective a bit. So, here's my honest review without giving away any spoilers for those waiting to see Terrifier 3 in theaters. Right off the bat, I'll say I still feel that killing using characters with guns in horror movies is a bit of a cop-out. Sure, the Scarface reference was fun, but it feels like an easy way out. I'll even go further and say I didn't enjoy the entire dream sequence. I thought it was just random and unnecessary. I wasn't a fan of the ending either. Sienna falling into a portal to hell that links to her dream, only to be resurrected by her dad's magic sword, didn't work for me. As I mentioned in my Terrifier 1 review, I find horror more effective when it feels grounded in reality, and the supernatural elements here took it further away from that. On the upside, this film actually has a plot, which is already a big improvement over the first movie. I loved how it picked up exactly where the first one ended, and the post-credit scene was great. It made the movie feel like a lengthy setup for part 3. As for the kills, they were even more gruesome and drawn out than in the first movie, and because brutal kills are what Terrifier is all about, that bedroom scene definitely delivered. Coming straight off Terrifier 1, I didn't enjoy Terrifier too much while watching it, but I did gain a newfound appreciation for it after seeing part 3. And that's a wrap. Don't forget to hit the like button and share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.